So the only morals I think I have is love thy neighbor as thyself, right? Or do unto others what you want them to do to you. I think that's the simplest rule I can think of when it comes to like trying to live your life. And because you can try to live up to other people's expectations, or try to get other people to live up to your expectations, you're only going to make yourself more miserable. It's like, why does that person have more fame than I do when I do the same work? When you try to like judge, do the whole grass is green, or try to question why you are not getting the same sort of thing as somebody else, it's going to make you miserable. Like like recently, I had a person say to me like, "Oh, if I was like this, then I'd have this." Or if I had major following, then I could do that. I could be able to get so much more. And I said, look, and I put a post out, and I said, look, there's no way. Excuse me, I'm just going to check this. Anyway, back to us, right? So I said to him, look, nobody just has followers. Nobody just has followers. You create followers, or you create a following, I should say, not create followers. You create following by, and you might be just like this gentleman, right? That you're concerned about, like, getting people to see your work, or getting people to follow your channel, getting people to follow your Facebook, follow your art book. I mean, Instagram, right? Or Facebook, Twitter, whatever, or your social media. However, I gotta silence this. Hold on. Apologies, guys. I don't even know why this keeps popping, because I think it's supposed to have notifications off. Anyway, just gonna power that off. Okay, carry on. So, all right. So starting from the start. So recently, I had a person, kind of like almost a debate with a person about followers, right? And as creative persons, the only way you're going to grow followers is by putting your work out there, and by showing people what you're doing, showing people who you are, what work you're working with, who you're working with, because that way you actually are like teamwork, right? You're working as a team to promote your work, or the work you're working with. Also, what that allows you to do is showcase what you're doing and what your team's doing, right? Or who your person you're working with is doing, and that helps everybody. And now, some people are really good with it, and some people aren't, and that's okay. You don't have to stress out over it. Not everybody likes to be in front of the camera, right? I mean, like I said, like, if you've followed this channel, you know that, like, when my first time I ever spoke in front of people, I cried. I was 15 years old, in front of my peers, on a stage, during a speech that I'd already just given to my classmates and I was fine with. And then I got in front of everybody on the stage, in front of the judges and my peers, and I cried. But I got through it. And I didn't do that again for maybe about 3 years later. Because now I can get up in front of people and speak easy, because I had like 12 years of working in customer sales, right? As a senior sales, talking to strangers, right? And helping people. And so that allowed me, and working with youth, that helped me learn these skills. Same thing with social media, right? And like, you look at our subscriber base, there isn't that many, right? However, as someone, who first got onto YouTube and did YouTube videos in 2007, and then like basically went through divorce, separation stuff, and just got away from it all. But and here's the thing, right? if I had stuck with that and just kept putting up little posts every now and then and doing little video clips, because I was doing a cooking show, like I was just doing little, whatever I was having for dinner that night, I just do like little videos of me cooking, right, preparing that meal. But then things happen in life, and I just went away from it. And then a couple of years later, like 2019, I got back to like, okay, we're going to do, got some support, we're going to do a convention. Then I started interviewing people. Then we started doing this. Then it wasn't that often I'd actually do little video clips. However, I realized last year when we put out Incredible, right, this character here, right, this is the original costume there, right, that I should have already been doing like this person, been out there promoting and getting on here and spending a year already talking to you guys about what we're going to be doing, building, interest in the project, letting people know what we're, what's coming up, what the character's about, who is going working on it, and the teamwork and the team that we're building, how we're doing it, what the characters look like. Look at the pencil work, look at the inking, look at the colors on the pages. However, I didn't really do that, and I regretted doing that. So if you are someone who's trying to like promote yourself and promote your work, and you're working on a team, especially if you're working on a team, and I'm just like you, right? Like I mentioned, like I made so many mistakes. Once a week is all you need to do to put a little clip up or a little something up on wherever social media that you're on to build a following. Now I get people sending me friend requests and stuff all every week, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know you, some of them, and that. But at the end of the day, you can basically help yourself because by putting up little posts about whatever that interests you, because people at the end of the day want to know you, the person behind the art, behind the characters, because nowadays people they want to see, who is that person creating this work, because there's a million characters out there, there's a million comic books out there. So, and random people will come across a comic book and go, oh yeah, that's another comic book. But if you want to if you want to build something more than just here's a comic book, and want to build something for us, you do need to get online and you do need to put posts out about what you're doing. And that's why I had, that's why, I had a, the guy, the first thing's going, oh, I don't have a following. It's like, look, dude, you just got to do it. You don't just suddenly have 1,000 people following you, or or you have this channel that has, it's getting monetized. You just got to work at it, and it takes time. And so, I love my artists. I love people that I work with, and I love showing that work. We have so much friggin' amazing stuff. Like, I mean, one of my artists just did a cover for, for an upcoming comic book called Templeton, right? Check this out, and so this is, and he just said, hey, I was working on an art, and I decided to, let me just bring this over here so I can think it. I decided to, hey, I'd love for you to use this as part of your comic book, right? As a cover. Could you do that? I said, yeah, man, let's use that. And so I got, because there was a character, it's a horror comic book, so we got this. And I get to use it, and I get to use people, show people this is what we're doing. And that gains interest in the work. See, nobody's going to basically follow you and go, oh, I don't even know who you are. So, but then if you go, hey, this is what I drew, this is what I'm a colorist, this is what I do. People will start getting interest in you. Sometimes, it's how you deliver stuff. Like I can be quite abrasive, right? And especially on my own personal page on Facebook, I can be quite abrasive because usually I'm trying to troll or whatever because I'm trying to have a laugh. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to be all rounded. I don't want to just show people, hey, this is all you see me in. I want to show you that there's, I'm more than just this guy who does comic books, because I write all types of stories. I don't want people to say, oh, he's a guy who just writes superhero comics, right? But we also do like freaking hardcore horror comics. And so I don't want people to just say, oh, I thought you were just doing that. I don't like your stuff because you're doing this now. That the only way you're going to show people more about, get people to understand who you are and build interest in that is tell people what you're doing. Because I think that it's really tough right now because there's so much out there, right? Last time we did a live stream, we talked about the stresses of AI and people paying, overseas people, like Western people expecting to get like $60 a page or $100 a page, $200, $400 a page, when somebody over in the Philippines can do it for $20. So rather than saying, "Oh, I won't do that for that," it's like you don't have to argue with that guy. Just go move on, right? Just leave that guy because there's other people that will. And I want you, there's something that like I really want you guys to understand when it comes to this whole idea of comic books and the whole indie comic scene, is that there is 100 other people willing to do the work you're not willing to do. But if you start jumping down people's throats about some sort of page rate, those guys will basically, not only will you put them off what they're doing, and that's not something you ever want to do, is turn people away from being creative. They might actually turn up to do friggin' AI stuff, and that's my worst thing. My fear is that there's more AI rubbish out there, right? Because that's not actually art. That's actually it's like stolen valor, right? It's like being an artist saying, "I went." Sorry, it's like being a soldier. This is what I'll equate to, right? Let me get this right. It's like being a soldier and going to war and saying that you're a hero and saved your people, you saved a whole bunch of people, and then coming back and telling them everybody you did, and then you find out that you didn't. That's AI to me in comics, right? It's like it's stolen valor. That's not even your work. You just put in some things, and it's now, And the worst thing is seeing amazing work done by other artists, and someone is now taking that work and is getting sold as a comic book for $7K US. And here I am spending 2 years with my friends creating an amazing comic book by hand, right? A team of 3, colorist, writer, designer, and inker, penciler, or sometimes another inker. And somebody's giving that trash $7K because it just looks nice, because it's not even their work. It's all AI. It's a regurgitated crap, right? It's vomit, but that vomit looks nice because it's everybody else's work. And so the idea is that if you're going to, because people just, it's like people buying cheap stuff, right? They don't realize it's cheap because it's rubbish. It's like same with art. It's like they will pay, like I saw like 20K US on an AI created comic book. Yet we've got 3 people creating an amazing 44-page comic book that can't even get $1,000 on, right? That people, who have like spent years, if not decades, honing their skills. And I'm not talking about myself, right? Even though that's what I've done, right, as a writer, but as an artist, but like my artists themselves and colorists, that they've spent all the skills. Yet people will spend like that much money just on AI stuff. It's sad to me, but that is where we're at right now. We're here at a stage where it's just whatever looks good, where people are willing to pay for, because at the end of the day, people don't really, they've gotten used to the idea of, if it looks good, then I'm willing to pay. Not about whether, hey, was it created by someone with skill? Was it created by someone who actually studied and knows what each thing is, why it's there? Because at the end of the day, when I'm on a page and I'm looking at it and I'm putting, like, every word I'm using is chosen carefully or edited down to make sure that there's some, there's a purpose to that. Same with the artist. The reason they're putting those characters there in the background, the foreground, on the side, behind the buildings are that way, there's a reason behind all those, there's a reason behind why those things are the way they are on that page. And then you also have editors, right, who will tell you like, hey, this isn't working, or that's not working. This is what the reader's going to look at. And so, back to like raising a following. Everybody's busy. Life can be stressful, busy, and stuff, or just things. And all you want to do is get your head down and work. However, somebody's going to be out there, in our case, it's me, saying, hey, we're doing this, we're doing that. Come and check out our work, because I have people who rely upon me to make sure whatever we're doing with our Kickstarters, with our IndieGoGo, upcoming projects, or the projects we're working on, is successful. But at the end of the day, we're contending with AI rubbish, right? And I know I'm not trying to hate on that, but we should hate on that, really, to be honest, because it's not their work. They're using work that isn't theirs to send out. Take it down, be well, and catch you later.